Okay, hello. Welcome in. Back with episode 2 of Ramblings from the Vault after a few months. Here with Toby, the funeral host, a good friend of mine. Some of you might not know him, but we'll bring him in here. Alright. So, first, welcome on in. How you doing today?
All doing pretty good. How about yourself, my friend?
I can't complain too bad. Too bad of a day. It's almost Friday. Well, at least.
Oh, indeed.
A special Friday, I suppose, at that. And yeah, so before I get into the actual episode, I figured some people might ask about it, so I figured I'd briefly make a comment on the whole OCRP shutting down in February. I'm sure many of you, all of you that watched this might have heard about it. It was announced in a community meeting about earlier this month, I guess. And as far as I'm aware, publicly at least, it's not really a drama type decision. Just GTA 6 is coming up here next May, anyways. So I guess it's kind of putting a date on the inevitable anyhow, but obviously I made a lot of good memories there. It's where a good chunk of a lot of RP memories started, at least on the channel. Met some good people there, and some of them I still see, and some of them I probably won't, and they might move on to their own communities, and I wish them well. And you know who you are if you're listening. Appreciate all the great memories made with you and everything. I've been mostly focusing my time on Foresight roleplay owned by some amazing people, and you've seen some streams of it, and I'm trying to get back into that soon. But obviously it's a great community, and I will put a link in the description for anyone who might want to apply to it. We've gotten some great people in lately, and looking to hopefully see some more amazing guys and gals and lovely people. And I just wanted to quickly address that before we get into the nitty gritty of it all. But it's the second episode after the last one was like 4 months ago. A lot's happened, so obviously been trying to keep up with it best I could, but ultimately stuff got in the way. But what better time to bring it back than with a Halloween episode? Halloween's, I never really got into Halloween. I mean, I did as a kid, but lately in the years I don't really celebrate a whole lot. But I do like listening to the music from it and just kind of feeling the autumn vibes from it all. I mean, I know you obviously go all out with it. But
just a little bit.
yeah, which I love. I think that's great, and I know with Christmas too, and I look forward to trying to do some stuff for Christmas. I hope, and I don't know if you'd be okay with me putting up later the carving you did that you showed me yesterday or the other day, because that was pretty cool. That's the wood carving.
That's fine. I just been trying to get back into a little bit of different stuff to get my hands more steady and relearn some things that I've forgotten.
Yeah. Before I forget, for those who probably don't recognize the voice or know the name that well, this is Toby, the funeral host. Great guy. we met. I guess we met in the old. I guess it was the old 5M community that we were in. I think that's where we actually started talking and meeting. I mean, we might have crossed paths or something like that because of when you used to be a mod for people like Old Man Beerface and stuff like that. We might have crossed paths, but
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been a good day or two, ain't it?
yeah, it's been a few years now. It's been heck, well, at least since I first knew you. Well, I don't know if I knew you personally then, but at least since I first was, I guess, aware of you. It's been, oh, 3 years now, just about, I think. I don't know the exact date, but it's been a while, for sure. But yeah, great guy.
Yeah,
And
you've been a blessing to know, and
yeah,
actually call friend. You feel more
yeah.
like family than anything.
Oh, for sure, man. And I'm glad to have you on here. I know we talked about it for a while, and I didn't get a chance to do this stuff for a while, but now to finally be able to actually do it, it's nice. But yeah, I guess we'll just kind of I mean, playing of stories. I mean, heck, you have quite the story yourself. We were talking about it a little bit before we started, but yeah, like, trust me, I think the funeral hearse stuff and everything would be great to talk about, cool to talk about and hear from you. 'Cause I don't know if you ever actually told me the full story of some of that stuff. I mean, I think you'd briefly mentioned it, and then it's like I have to tell you the full story sometime, but we just never got a chance to talk about it more.
Yeah, I kind of just, as the old saying goes, dribble my toes in the water and stuff. That way, I don't weird too many people out because I'm I'm a bit different. you
That's
know.
okay. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, I find it very interesting and cool and unique. I mean, I never really knew anybody that had a job like that, so I mean, obviously, I can get the gist of what all you'd have to do, but I imagine the nitty gritty of it all and the different like stuff they experience is quite something.
Yeah, there's a bit of a learning curve to it, and some of the things that you don't expect to happens, and things like that. You're kind of like sometimes at the beginning of it, you're like, why am I in this? But
Yeah,
it's definitely an adventure. All through my life.
yeah, and you got to drive around the hearse for a good while too, didn't you? When you were doing that job, I remember.
Oh yeah, it's kind of oh gosh, um it, it kind of goes way back to the my childhood and stuff like that. I'd always loved the Adams Family, the Monsters and stuff like that. Just the comedic offbeat value to where other people may think that someone's weird or something like that, but they just kind of own their own weirdness and stuff. And I guess that's kind of what I try and do, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Oh yeah.
Um, my father was a minister, so it started out he had officiated over a bunch of different funerals and stuff like that, and being young kids and stuff like that, it was kind of like most of the time we'd slip off to areas of the place, or stay in the back and get a little bit rambunctious and stuff like that, and want to explore and see things. And it got to where I was asking about different things and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't always more of the inquisitive technical side to it and stuff like that. I mean, we would run around and play hide and go seek in the casket displays and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people would think that they lock. There's a specific way they lock and stuff, so there was no danger of us, like getting locked in a freezer type situation. But it kind of grew from there to where I was interested in doing the work and stuff like that. And it's like I said, growing up around it, I never saw the weird, creepy, spooky vibe to it or anything
Yeah.
like that most people, associate with it. So,
Yeah, there's even a game that kind of I guess intensifies that side of people's feelings. I don't know if you've ever heard, the game Mortuary Assistant.
I have heard it and seen other people watch it and stuff, and it's kind of one of those. It's I would be looking around like I'm big on antiques and stuff. So
Yeah.
when I see stuff, I'll be like, oh, there's that and there's that and there's that, type thing. And everyone's like, what's wrong with you?
Honestly, that game always fascinated me watching it. There's obviously Bradley, RP Sims famously has
Oh
great
yes,
reactions playing
yes.
that game. Uh, I think,
Bradley is awesome,
yeah,
pure awesome, and I love watching
yeah, I think,
him.
I think that's a game where he got scared by the ceiling fan. I can't quite remember. I think that's the one. But yeah, I think a ceiling fan had jump scared him or something like that at one point in that game. So I can't say I've quite done all that, but I have to try some more games. I mean, I just didn't really get a chance to this year, but next year for sure, I'm hoping to try to do some more horror type of games. I mean, I used to not like be complete. I used to be completely against playing any games like that or doing anything associated with that. But I kind of just feel like, especially for the entertainment factor, I would definitely consider it. I mean, I've played my fair share of stuff like Phasmophobia or Demonologist, some of that, like ghost hunting stuff, which is pretty cool. Um,
Oh yeah, it's good to get the old heart racing every
yeah,
once in a while.
get that adrenaline going, make sure it's still good. Um, oh yeah, no, that's awesome, man. You also were at fire department at one point too, right?
Yeah, volunteered with different fire departments. Had worked for the state as a wildland
Yeah,
firefighter, and was with the hazmat team for a while too.
that's awesome. Yeah, you have probably a lot of stories to tell from all the stuff you've done over the years, I'm sure. Uh,
Oh, some days I think I should write a book, and then other days
I,
I'm like, no,
I
don't. That's
mean,
evidence, and they'll commit you.
hey man, I mean, hey, that's why you got an editor for it, is make sure you don't toe the line too much. But I could make a good book out of it, I'm sure. But I don't, I don't think it'd get you committed. I, never know until you try it.
Yeah, I always joke around. One of the things I love doing and stuff is like when I'm out in town and things like that is just to make people laugh and stuff. As one lady says, "Well, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm doing fine." It's like nobody had listened to me. They think I was just complaining. They kind of carry on. Yeah, yeah, nobody ever listened to you. I said, if they listen to me, they might lock me up in the nut ward again. And they're like, well, what do you mean again? And then I'll just start dying laughing because I know that's what got them. And then, they'll start laughing. But then there's always that at the kind of like that little Andy Kaufman type thing in the back of their head is he really joking or is he serious?
Yeah, get you thinking for sure. Oh, that's great. Um, yeah, I I try to sometimes say little things like that, and sometimes it makes people laugh. Sometimes they just look at me like, "Huh?" But
Yeah, I've had a quite a bit of that. That's why, and my my older age and stuff like that, I kind of just ease people into the thing. That way, I don't really shock them too bad.
yeah, hey, I hear ya. Um, yeah. So I guess let me look at some of my notes here and things like that. I mean, obviously, I guess you've probably celebrated and decorated for Halloween about as long as you can remember. I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of like even at one job I had, I asked them, in the lobby and stuff. I was like, if I built a coffin, I said, can we put it in here and make a display out of it? And they didn't know I was literally building a coffin and stuff like that. Did one of the old toe pinchers and stuff like that, style, and it's I have to find you some pictures of that one. That's I went all in on it. It was black with blood red interior and black lace and stuff like that.
Oh
It was
wow.
molded and handles and stuff like that. It just, they just didn't know how far I was going to go into it. And then sort of after that, there's like, well, we didn't know it was going to be like this. So,
Yeah, that's great. I remember one of my grandmas used to tell me a story of, I think when I can't remember if when it was her birthday, her 50th birthday, or when it was my grandpa's 50th birthday. They had this whole thing strung out across the road, this little street that they lived on, from one side to the other. It was like happy birthday whatever their name was and all. I think out front they had a coffin displayed out front for the it's like a surprise party thing.
I love it.
And I, I I never really seen many people do it for Halloween. Actually, I mean, not a whole lot of people decorate for around here. I guess if I actually went out of my way to look for it, I could actually see it. But I mean, obviously, people have their like flags they put out and stuff like that. And some people do little decorations, but I don't think I would bother too much with pumpkins because those things. I don't know how quickly those things rot, and this becomes a mess. But maybe get like the fake ones, go all out one day, one year.
Oh yeah, down on the farm. Back this has been back when my kids were little. They're all grown now and stuff like that. We'd plant them and stuff like that, and carve them, and have them everywhere and stuff like that. It was just we just I get like a big kid and stuff. Of course, it's most people don't realize I'm 52 years old, And of course, if you ask my wife, I'm her biggest 3 year old. So, there's that. So, Halloween, Christmas, and stuff like that. I just, it's like be like I'm like a kid again.
It's great to have those moments where you can kind of feel that way again. I always love decorating for Christmas when we get to and being festive. I think definitely Christmas is the easiest time to be festive and everything. Halloween too, but I never really did much with Halloween much anymore. I mean, I used to, like I said, I think I don't know if I ever even actually trick or treated. I think we just didn't really have a whole lot of houses that I'd want to go to around here. I mean, I would get like a costume when I was young and then go up the road to my grandparents or stuff like that. But I think after a while, I didn't do costumes for that long. Remember, I think I remember a couple of costumes I did. I obviously had like a vampire one year, and like a NASCAR driver another year. I think one time it was like a UPS driver. I think, if I remember correctly. That's just interesting choice, but don't remember too many of them. I know there's some unique ones out there for sure, and
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's uh, one of the hardest ones. The costume I ever had to build and stuff is my son was in. It's kind of a bad story. My dad had a really bad wreck,
oh
and my son he was big into helicopters and stuff like that. So I asked him one year. It was after my father had a wreck and stuff like that. It's like, well, what do you want to be for Halloween? And he wanted to be one of the medical helicopters and stuff like that. That the particular one that flew my dad out and stuff. And I was like, how am I going to do that? So it set off on a whole big thing. I thought my wife and my wife's mother was going to kill me. I had the front room tore all apart and stuff. And on his radio flyer, I built a helicopter. And then that kind of grew into later on when they got a little bit older and stuff like that. He wanted a fort. And I was like, okay, what do you want? And he's like, a helicopter. So we had to build a bigger version of it and stuff, which we did lights and strobes and everything on it. It was 22.7 feet long and 12 feet
wow,
tall. And so, yeah, I
wow,
kind of go all out for things a
yeah,
little OCD and overboard easy. So,
wow. But that was cool to see.
yeah, I've got some pictures somewhere. I'll have to send it to you and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's I, Christmas. I love getting into it too. Halloween's just kind of always been different for me and stuff on it because I guess there for a while we didn't get to celebrate it too much because we live way back in the countryside. But then when we moved into town and stuff like that, it was just kind of like getting to do more and stuff as I grew up
yeah.
and stuff like that. So I wanted to do stuff with my kids and stuff like that. And that's just a real small town where we're in and stuff like that. So it's not like you've got to worry about a whole lot of stuff, but they kind of go all out for holidays here,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, not too many people around here decorate much anymore, and I know some of our neighbors and my grandparents and my grandma's older, so don't really do it a whole lot much anymore. But we tried to at the very least decorate our windows and lights and everything still. Gotta have the tradition of going up to my grandma's and getting her a big blow up that she puts out in the front yard, get that set up. she used
Oh
to
yeah.
she used to go all out with lights around and everything like that, but can't really just don't really get to do that anymore. But the blow up at least makes up for it. It's like these you got like a big old I think it's a penguin and a helicopter one and like a snowman one, a sleigh, I believe.
Oh yeah, those are awesome, and some
Yeah.
of the animatronics that comes with them and stuff like that too. Is just
Yeah, I
it's
wish we had more of
unreal where things
those.
are.
Yeah. Wish we had more of those. The animatronic things are always cool. I know I had my aunt, I don't know if it still works. I think she still brings it out, but it's kind of an animatronic Santa Claus with an old Coca-Cola bottle, glass one holding it, kind of moving around, I think, and stuff like that with the bottle in his hand. It's kind of cool. It's about like
Oh yeah.
3 or 4 feet tall, but it'd be cool to take a life size thing, something like that. Those things are always pretty cool. I only imagine what they're like these days. Um, I know I saw one thing. I don't know if you ever saw that Walt Disney animatronic from maybe earlier this year. They were uh they had,
I haven't got to see a whole lot of it, but I kind of seen snippets and stuff of
yeah
it. That looks so nice.
I think it was taken from actual recordings. They said so. It wasn't just AI, but I just remember I think like when its first stage or something like that it broke down. Poor thing. I mean, I guess
Oh
that.
no, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Of
that
course,
was
it's
probably pretty
yeah,
scary. Imagine,
yeah, for probably some traumatizing to some
yeah,
young children and stuff.
you're like a
Yeah,
5-year-old, and all of a sudden you
yeah.
see this person that looks like a guy in front of you. This all of a sudden just
Just
stops.
kind of slumps over.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I love finding the humor and stuff of that. I would have been rolling, if it was in a boat or cart or something like that. I probably fell out on the track laughing and got run over. You know,
Yeah, you'd be able to help entertain the kids that are probably traumatized after that. Just look on the bright side. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Trying to think of else. Well, yeah, that's probably about it for decoration stuff and all that. But is there any? You ever do any kind of custom stuff yourself in the past?
Done different things and stuff. It's mostly it's it's kind of weird. Mostly stuff was basically done for well, to kind of bring everybody up to it. The reason I got my name, the funeral host and stuff like that, that was kind of ticked on me because I actually owned a 1964 Cadillac hearse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it camping and boondocking. I mean, like I said, I never was creeped out by anything of it. I had the gurney in the back, and I just slept like the dead. No pun intended. you know?
You slept on the gurney?
Oh yeah, it was the most peaceful sleep. I mean, see, stuff like that never bothered me, because
Yeah.
it was just, growing up around it and stuff, and being at the funeral home and stuff. It was just, part of life that I never really seen from other people's views and stuff like that. So, just building things for it, a casket for it, and just different things and working
Uh,
on it. And then it's one Halloween, actually did. It was used to, you could buy them at Walmart. It was like these masks and stuff, and you put like black face paint on and stuff like that, except for where the spirit gum attached the latex mask and stuff on. And you can get them at Walmart and stuff like that. Of course, in high school and stuff, we used to do things and stuff like that. But I went all out and sewing on this Grim Reaper costume and stuff. So Halloween, I was running around in it and went to pick a few friends up to go to, a Halloween party that we were
yeah.
having and stuff. So, getting some looks and things like that. There's kind of like, freaks over here, but
Went all out.
I own being a weirdo.
Oh, that honestly, I think that'd be cool as heck. Um, yeah. Let's see here. So, You have like a. I know you don't. I don't know if you do a whole lot of candy anymore, but was there ever like a favorite Halloween candy you used to have or like that?
I don't remember what it's called, but it was like this. It was like white and brown or black striped, and had like this white candy shell, but then like this creamy center that was not creamy, but like it was a crunchy center, like the type of a Butterfinger type thing in it. And I ate those things till I got sick. It was those, and I think it was a Clark bar from way back in the day and stuff like that, or a Zagnut. It's a
Nice. I,
little bit different from everybody else's picks, probably.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of a Clark bar. Maybe. Um, Clark bar. I gotta look that up now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chocolate and peanut butter and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I used to, when I was a kid, summertime, that's all I'd lived off. You give me a jar of peanut butter, I would just eat out of it with a spoon, and stay outside and, you know.
Yeah, I think I I used to be basic, like Hershey's stuff and all that. Eventually, I would get into stuff like big fan of like almond joys and stuff like that now, or
Oh yeah,
mounds.
love those. Yeah.
Anything with coconut in it's good. My grandma introduced me to a couple of candies that had candy bars that had like uh, coconut in it, and there's some vintage ones or older candy bars they were talking about sometime. I can't remember. I think I told you about the one that had coconut in it. Let me see if I look back here. Um, oh, no, I guess. I thought I did, but maybe not. But it was a chocolate bar, and it had kind of a crunchy exterior to it, and it had the coconut inside and other stuff. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but I remember when I first tried coconut, and I instantly fell in love with it. And it's one of those things. Is like, how did I go so many years without having this? But
Yeah, I understand that.
lately, I've been big into Tootsie Rolls lately since we got
Oh,
some.
aren't those a delight? I mean, it's
Yeah,
I shouldn't be having them where I'm a diabetic, but every once in a while, you've just got to give in. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean,
It's
every so
like I'll drink
often,
water the rest of the day, but give me a couple.
yeah. You pay for it, but um, I recently got into those for a while. I wasn't sure I would like them, but it has a unique. I think it's like it's chocolate, but also has a little bit of like a fruitiness to it. It's interesting how that worked, and it actually turns out pretty good. You
Yeah,
you know
they
that?
make some that's different flavored too, like
Yeah, they
vanilla.
have.
I just had some. It was a strawberry, and one that
Yeah,
was a mystery flavor that tasted like mango. And I mean, it was tasted like fresh mangoes. I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah. I remember when I was looking it up. I was looking up Tootsie Roll. They actually, yeah. I'm just randomly searching up this stuff on Wikipedia and everything. But there was one time I was searching it up and I saw that. And it's like I did not. I've never seen those before. It must be not at the stores I go to. 'Cause I saw to like they have those fruit ones, and it's like, oh, that's cool. They have introduced in the 70s include flavors such as cherry, orange, vanilla, lemon, and lime. And then there's a special mega mix bag that has green apple, blue raspberry, and grape. Huh. Yeah. Tootsie
Yeah.
Fruities is the one that has
Yeah,
the
what's
strawberry and all
wild
that.
is, some of those are actually called retro candies. I'm like, what do you mean retro? That was. I get a good laugh out of it because.
I guess because it came. I guess because that's around the time that came out. I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those when you remember stuff coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
One candy I wish they would bring back is Bonkers, and I don't know how to describe them, but it's just like a soft candy chew that was different flavored and stuff. And oh man, it's kind of one of those. It's there had to be something in them because they were so addictive that it would drive. When they quit making
Bonkers.
them and
Yeah.
stuff, you would go bonkers, trying to find the last ones to buy up.
Yeah. Bonkers. I'm seeing it now. Yeah, that's huh. Yeah, that's I don't not really good pictures of them, but and these little poster of it from '86. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to and then put that poster in later. But yeah, I actually the funny reason I got into Tootsie Rolls was it's a show I just finished up called you heard the show For All Mankind?
Not right offhand. Of course, it's
It's
I may have seen it, but not recall the name
it's a bit
of
of a
it.
newer show, but it is also on Apple TV Plus. I managed to get a hold of that and watch it because I had started a long time ago, but never really got that far into it. About last few weeks, I got into it, and oh my gosh, it's the whole premise behind it is it's a space show. It starts out in July of 1969, and the whole premise is that it's this alternate history where the Soviet Union they beat America to the moon by a month, and it starts this whole chain reaction of like the U.S. and Russia going crazy on their space programs, and so and they get a bunch more funding and things. I guess it's this whole alternate history where like I guess NASA's space program goes a lot better, and actually like uh they're actually like able to go pretty far with it. I won't spoil a whole lot of it, but basically imagine everything that space program could have been, or and then I guess kind of got halted funding, or I guess there's been various things that have happened, like the Challenger that has, I guess, kind of put that to a halt for a little bit. Of course, we have great advancements now with it, with rovers and robotic stuff with it and everything, and the telescopes and all that. But I know they got those plans in the next few years to do more launches to like the moon, maybe even Mars. But it's a really cool show that shows everything that NASA wanted to be and actually like turned out to be. And it has, I mean, I love the retroness to it as well, and really cool show. It's 4 seasons right now, 10
I'm
episodes
definitely
each.
gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, and they're working on a fifth season that no telling when it will come out. I think the writer's strike had kind of delayed it a little bit, but awesome show. I'm so glad I got a chance to watch it. And it's put me in this kind of space mood. Not really so much as like, I don't really like follow a whole lot of the space stuff going on right now, but it's made me fantasize a little bit about some like retro space memorabilia and stuff like that to maybe one day try to get for my room. Patches
Oh,
and challenge
indeed.
coins and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right up my alley. Of course, I have so many different interests and stuff like that. It's kind of like squirrel, yeah, type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of the space shuttles and stuff, I could remember when those was toys, and I not wasn't there, but I watched it on TV when the first one launched and stuff like that. So seeing all that stuff, it just makes me wonder what will be over the next 10, 20 years as advancements keeps
Oh
going and
yeah.
stuff like that, because um, even just what you have on a phone or tablet, as me as a child, that was like stuff you would only see on Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Buck
Yeah.
Rogers, things type like that.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder. I mean, heck, there's so much stuff that we still haven't seen or gotten to do yet with space exploration. I mean, we've gotten some great advancements, and obviously, there's people far more well versed on it than me. But it'd be cool to see more of what all they can do. I mean, I always thought like the whole space colonization and stuff like that was cool. I don't know how practical or how much people actually do it, but I feel like eventually they might actually try to give that a shot and do like actually inhabit space a little more, and hopefully be able to actually go beyond and see more of like there's a bunch of planets we've seen pictures of and stuff like that, but never been able to really get super close to. I feel like, well, maybe we have, but again, there's people far more well versed on it than me. But I always thought it was fascinating of once we're able to, I guess, kind of at least where our telescopes are, what is it like the Hubble stuff or Voyager, that's
Oh
one.
yeah.
Where they go beyond our solar system and see if maybe like I always thought the thought of there being like another planet like ours out there cool. I mean, there's I don't know if it's confirmed that there are planets like ours out there yet, but yeah, it just makes you think, I guess, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, the possibilities and probabilities is just, endless and stuff. One thing I'm interested in is, of course, there's pros and cons. People's going to be on one side of the fence, one side of the other about the three eye atlas and stuff. That's you know nearing all that. As more information comes out about that, that seems like it's going to be pretty neat.
I don't know if I've read up too much about that. So it's
Yeah, it's a big, huge, massive thing. I can't remember exactly
oh
word
yeah,
for word
okay.
on it, but
Yeah.
they said it was supposed to be like almost the size of Manhattan Island or something like that.
Let's see. It's the third known interstellar object to pass through our solar system, which was discovered by the Atlas telescope. It is a comet with unique characteristics like a high ratio of carbon dioxide to water ice and the unexpected presence of nickel. Huh. Yeah. Let's see. Observations continuing in December 2025, now visible after passing the sun. Uh, yeah, high carbon dioxide. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, of course, you hear some people's take on it. It's an intergalactic spaceship. You know,
Oh yeah,
you
of
know, it's,
course.
but it's I find the humor in it. I mean, and of
Yeah.
course, there's if you go down the rabbit hole, some people saying the other, comet or rock or whatever it was, it was our second moon there for a while. They're trying to say that
Mm-hmm.
was like the preemptive probe before this. I don't laugh at people. It's just I'm just it's kind of I get tickled to see where people's brains go with things and stuff like that. It's just because it's
Yeah.
just it's it's interesting. I've always liked studying psychology and things like that and stuff too. Not that I try and psychoanalyze, or not that I'm qualified to psychoanalyze anybody and stuff like that, but it's just I love people just being their self, unedited. Just boom, no filter. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need a filter, but it's kind of like on things where well, I believe it's this type of thing, where they just don't even filter it out. I think it's an intergalactic spaceship. Some people's going to be like, well, yeah, I can see that, and it's kind of one of those. I'm like, me, I just go, I don't know what it is, but one thing for sure, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. There's so many theories about like extraterrestrial and people and how we haven't seen them yet or anything like that. I mean, there's so many different theories that people try to come up with to explain why we haven't possibly seen it. How are we alone in all this? Um, you got like, I think there's a theory where it's like the rare earth where we're unique and we're one of a kind, which I can understand that, but at the same time, there has to be. I'm sure there's plenty of planets we just haven't seen yet that are like this. Or, there's theories that uh, they didn't survive. Alien beings are all dead already. Or I think uh, there was a theory that all habitable planets were hit by killer asteroids and Earth didn't. Or uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's just so many, and I mean, even it'd be cool to even see any kind of biological life, like even see a plant or like microbes or something like that, or organisms like that, because that's the foundation of it all, and even see if like there's evidence of it, like maybe that used to be there or something like that. I don't know if there's,
Oh yeah. It's
uh, hmm?
Sorry about that. My allergies getting the best of me and stuff. I
Oh,
want to just cough on you and stuff like that.
yeah,
But yeah, it's it's kind of interesting and stuff. Oh, what was it? There was if I can't, I've got so much stuff in my head, I can't remember it all. And but Putting there somewhere in North Carolina or South Carolina that there was a meteor that so long ago and stuff. That's where the pitcher plants come from. That has like where the insects will go down inside of it and it'll just close up on them and devour them. They're different
Yeah.
from like the Venus flytraps and stuff like that.
Uh,
But somebody was, whether it's any truth or not, I remember as a child and stuff them talking about that and how it supposedly come from a meteorite or something like that, and whether there's any truth to that, I never researched it or anything, but it's just kind of like the urban legends or myths, just leave
yeah.
the mystery and mystique out there. Like, is there really a Sasquatch?
Oh my gosh,
I don't
yeah.
want to. I don't want to know.
Yeah, honestly,
Let's let it be what it
yeah,
is. Have fun with it. We're only here for a short time,
yeah.
so
They're just it's just gonna immediately be ruined if they're ever like if it's ever confirmed that there is a Sasquatch or whatever. It's not gonna last for long after that. They're heaven and earth's gonna be moved to get rid of that thing or try to take it into test on it or something like that or
exactly. And
whatever.
that's the sad part about it
Yeah,
is,
they're
it's
not gonna
just
let it be.
yeah,
They wouldn't let it be. They gotta do something with it. It's like if someone was found to have like superpowers or something like that, you don't dare tell anyone. 'Cause, they can run so many tests on you and everything like that. It's like you see all these shows and everything, like Stranger Things, even that the 11 person. They I think when
oh
people
yeah,
realized her powers, the military came in and took her to help them out or with something or something like that. They actually released a trailer for that earlier today or something like that for their 5th season. It looks pretty cool.
all that. Yeah, that'll definitely be neat. I'll definitely have to be catching back
Yeah.
up on that. Speaking of Stranger Things and stuff, growing up, I can remember when second edition AD&D come out, and back then it was like a stereotype, people just playing Dungeons and Dragons. It was
Yeah.
made out to be something that it wasn't, like any other role playing game and stuff like that. Oh, it's, and then,
Yeah.
you've got, I think it's less of a, oh, what's the word for it? Less of a stereotype for people who does that now and stuff like that. I mean, it's of
Yeah.
course there's always going to be some people look at it, and I always say there's some people going to look at me and go, oh, he's a weirdo. And, that's all
Well,
right with me. I'll own my
yeah.
weirdness,
Yeah. Hey, everyone's unique in their own special ways. I don't think there's anything wrong with that for the most part. But yeah, that's like point. It's funny how we got to this topic and it all stemmed from a piece of candy that turned into space talk, and now this. That's a gift of these kind of things, I guess. You segue into these fun little topics.
Oh, it's I tell everybody when I'm in a discussion and stuff like that, just buckle up. It's a roller coaster and stuff. Not that I try to get off topic. It's just so many things in my head and stuff like that. Sometimes it's like squirrel.
Oh yeah, no, I'd get plenty of those. I think I'd take partial responsibility at the very least for that too, but that's okay. Um, let's see. Let me try to look back at some more Halloween topics. I guess we can get into. Let's see here.
You were talking about like the military. I mean, look at the Living Dead and stuff like that. Those movies and stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen the Living
The
Dead
military
movies.
coming out and stuff and
Oh,
all that.
okay.
There's a bunch of them. Of course, if a bunch of the older ones and stuff. Uh, I rewatch them just because it's kind of like watching them as a child and stuff. You're like
Yeah.
like that, getting scared out of your gourd and stuff like that. Most of the time, though, it's I was just laughing about things and stuff like that. I've got a weird thing where I was bullied as a kid and stuff like that, and beat up. I got to where I never would let people see me cry. I would just force myself into laughing. So now, even when I get scared, I'll just lay down on the floor and laugh. If we were ever in a room and zombies were coming at us, and if it scared me in real life, I would just laugh like a lunatic. So just leave me as the bait, and you take off running. Because I'm no good when I get to laughing.
Yeah, it's quite the tactic. You make for a good distraction, I guess. Y'all get out. I'm gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think you're always big into the zombie stuff too, right? Like Walking Dead and all that.
Yeah, that's one game that I really got into and stuff is where you can mod is just 7 Days to Die and stuff. Of course, there's a lot of love hate with it right now and things and stuff, but I still like it just because it's fun to play and stuff like that. But Project Zomboid, a bunch of them. There's a new one coming out that I want to get it more into and stuff like that. It's called Vane or something like that,
Okay.
and it's pretty neat. It's a multiplayer one too, so
Huh.
I could see people, even being like you know a, a style of that on forums and stuff like that. It's growing up, we've role played in so many different things. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there was Star Trek, there was Star Wars. When all the White Wolf games come out, Vampire the Masquerade and stuff like that. I mean, I could just go on naming them and naming them and naming them. It was just always fun to do different things and stuff like that. And that's when all the RP online and stuff like that, getting into it. And some of the games and stuff I played with my kids growing up and stuff like that. Now that they're adults and stuff like that, it's good to get the RP with them and stuff, and
Yeah.
have fun and things like that. And it's
Yeah. Um. I don't know I don't know what all zombie games they got now. I know they got 7 Days to Die, and then they got what was that? I don't know if there's like modes for games or stuff like that. I'm not very well versed into all the games. You would think there'd be more out. Um, but I'm trying to think. I mean, I never really 7 Days to Die. I played a little bit of it. Obviously, I probably remember. And one, I didn't really mind it. I guess I just never got into it fully. Um, I know. I guess Daisy is another one. I don't know if people still play that. Um,
that's one that I would like to play that I've never got to play any of it. The Daisy stuff.
yeah. I remember. I think that used to be like a mode or something like that, and then it turned into a full thing, if I recall correctly. Like Arma or something like that. I think it used to be like a mod or some different
Yeah,
Arma.
I think so. I know that's one that my son played a lot and stuff, and then that's when he got the Daisy. Um, and I guess it just like you said, it become its own thing and stuff. It
Yeah.
become popular.
Yeah.
And it's neat to see things like that happen too, with different spin-offs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of horror games, but the one I used to always have fun with a horror game, they used to have a Jason game, Friday the 13th. Um, that used to have a lot of good memories of that game. It's not, I think they shut that game down a little while ago. I don't
Oh
remember
man,
why, but something to do with the company, I think, shutting down maybe or something like that. Or it did have a few glitches, and it would be nice if someone made a game like that again. But I think maybe license could have expired too. Maybe it was the license that expired. But yeah,
yeah, I
uh,
imagine that could be a thing to keep that going
yeah,
for different updates and things. And
yeah. And I think eventually that game just kind of died off, and I guess it maybe just wasn't worth keeping up the license for it and everything. But it was a fun game. It had some fun times with it. And, you're just it's basically a survival game. You got someone playing as Jason, and you're kind of just trying to stay away from him, and you're trying to escape the little campsite or whatever, and whether it's by boat or a car, and you have to get all these things together and everything. It was pretty cool, pretty exhilarating for sure. Um, I do remember a couple times when one of my best friends would be playing it. If one of us was Jason, we'd play as a secret agent and kind of tell them where everyone's at and help them out and try
Oh yeah.
and classic, you know. But that was a fun game. But unfortunately, I don't know if they'll ever do a game like that again, or if they are, they might. I don't know. I might end up being completely wrong, but um, and there's some good
Yeah,
old
that's some
games.
of the biggest things that, some of the funnest times I've had is, with games like that. And you just,
Yeah,
kind of make your own rules or just improv on the go and
yeah,
just see where it goes. And that's been some of the best RP ever too.
yeah. It was definitely one of those moments. Made some good memories out of it years ago. I haven't played in quite a few years and everything, but definitely was good times and simpler times before I graduated and everything. So definitely simpler times.
Oh yeah, it's kind of. I remember a lot of stuff that we used to do and stuff. Two friends that I've known since third and fourth grade.
Yeah,
Um, when Fangor magazine was out and stuff like that, we used to be big on working with latex and stuff. We'd just be rushing to the stores to see whenever they would do that to learn the newest FX tricks and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, graduating high school, we kind of got away from that. A lot of the stuff we did for, didn't get to do and stuff like that. So it's kind of like now that we're
yeah.
getting older and things is kind of slowing down, there's a whole lot more stuff that we actually have the time to do now. It's just, being, being
Oh
able to, as
yeah,
I say it.
yeah. Now, segueing from video games a little bit, do you have a favorite Halloween or horror movie you watch around this time or anything like that, or you have watched around this time?
Well, there's, it's kind of weird. Not trying to insert a plug here, but there's one friend that streams horrible horrors, and he goes through and it's kind of like he finds like movies from the 30s and stuff like that, and he does like every Saturday and stuff, and it's fun because you get to go on there and stuff, and it's kind of like imagine like a horror mystery science 3 theater 3000. That's kind of what it's like, and it's a lot of fun to see stuff like that. So it's I can't really nail down one because I like them. There was one. It was I'll have to look and see if I've still got it. But I got a bunch of my grandmother's stuff, and she was friends with one of the people who wrote one of the scripts and stuff for one of the horror movies and stuff like that. And I can't remember if it was Night of the Living Dead or The Living Dead. But her friend was from Kentucky, and before they made that movie, she got a script and stuff that autographed from him and stuff. She says, "I want you to have this because it's a safekeeping," and she proofread it for him and stuff like that. And it's so hopefully, if it survived the house fire, I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, with a bunch of her stuff and her poems and stuff, and kind of another Halloween thing and stuff like that. She won some thing that we was going to go to one time before she got sick. Some kind of poetry award where we are supposed to go out to LA, and Vincent Price was going to be the one doing the awards and stuff like that. And there was like a meet and greet with him. And she's like, "I'm going to take you because I know you're a huge fan of him and stuff like that." But, she got real bad sick. So that never worked out. But, it was just kind of like just knowing, some of that. It was like, that's pretty neat.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that a little bit. That um, that that streaming thing you're talking about. I think you showed me to a couple times. I have to probably you'll have to send me that link to it again. I try
Oh,
to
will do. It's funny. I mean, it's kind of like some of the things and stuff. There'll be like a pre-feature and stuff like that, and then the movie and stuff like that. And there was one that was it was kind of funny. It was an old vampire movie, and we were just like, wonder who's at the door. And of course, we're it's kind of I don't know if you've ever been to the Rocky Horror Picture Show and stuff like that. And you've heard the audience and stuff, just kind of talking back to the and things
Oh
like
yeah,
that. It's kind of not saying that's what it is, but it's just kind of a mishmash of stuff, and it's just it's pretty neat. And always, if you have a warped sense of humor, you're always going to get a laugh.
yeah. Shamelessly, I don't think I've ever actually had a chance to. Well, I've never had a chance to go to one of those. I had a one of my teacher friends was telling me about how she and one of her friends had actually gone to one of those, but I'd never really. What are those exactly? The Rocky horror picture shows.
It's one of those. It's different for everybody that goes. So for me to nail it down under one thing, it kind of wouldn't be fair because to each person it's a little bit different and stuff. But it's just kind of not really. A lot of people like to say it's a cult following, but it's not a cult or anything like that. It's just mostly people just going and having a fun time and stuff at the movies and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's kind of a little bit of an offbeat. It's not everybody's cup of tea and stuff like that, but it's just kind of one of those. It's growing up, through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and stuff like that, especially through the 80s and stuff, how certain films become iconic, like Back to the Future and things like that. And it's like now there's Back to the Future Day. You see people streaming and everything about, and it's kind of like, um, it's I really don't know how to describe it because, like I said, if I put one spin on it, then somebody's going to be like, no, 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 that's wrong. But
yeah,
it's just kind of like a fun time. I mean, to me, it's just like an evening out with friends. You're having fun, cutting up and laughing and stuff like that, and it's like whenever you get together and you watch a show that you've probably seen 1,000 times and you know what line's coming next and you
yeah.
repeat it or say it
Well, that's cool. I might have to try to.
it's a load of fun.
I might have to try. Yeah, no, I remember. I think some people apparently dress up for it and stuff like that too. Um,
Oh yeah. I
yeah,
mean, and it's kind of, like I said, it's some people go all in. So,
yeah. I heard.
it's
Yeah, my
you just kind of like, okay,
yeah,
more power to you type
yeah.
thing,
My teacher.
you know.
I think my teacher friend was telling me about actually the person she was going with. She's one of those people that actually go all out and dress up for it and everything. And she's like, my teacher's friend was like, I don't have all that stuff, so I'll just kind of stay out of the photos a little bit. Um, and the friend of hers was like, make sure you take pictures of me and everything like that. I was like, yeah, no, I never really been big into like all that stuff. I know there's a bunch of different occasions where you can go all out with like stuff like that or Renaissance festivals and stuff like that, but I just never. It's not that I'm like against or anything like that. I just never had a chance to do anything like that or really, I guess, care for stuff like that, or I guess I don't know. But I mean, I do remember.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
There's a there used to be a huge Ren fair here, and sadly they quit because somebody went a little overboard on it.
Yeah.
And well, it's probably one of the I'll have to probably tell you why after this stuff on it, but it was just they got a little too period specific with things, and
Oh.
it was like this is no longer kid friendly type thing.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's like you said, it's you just have to go and experience it and see if it's something you like. There's been Ren fairs that's been awesome. There's been Ren fairs that you're like, what are they doing? It's it.
Yeah. I went to a Ren Fair one time in my life, and it was like a 7th or 8th grade field trip. I mostly hung around this teacher I liked. I think he passed away a couple of years ago. He taught my older brother to. His name was Mr. Mao, and he was a science teacher, and I hung around him a lot during the whole time. So we were both kind of like not sure what to do with this place, and I didn't really have anyone else to be around with it. But
Oh,
it
I
seemed pretty
understand that.
cool. It seemed
I've
like a
been
pretty
there
cool
on a few field
time.
trips too.
Yeah, it looked like a cool place. So we of course I had to get a turkey leg. That was
Oh yeah.
fun. That I never had something like that before, so that was fun. But I'd like to go back again one time and try it properly, because it was cool. It's cool, like the effort people put into it and all, and this design and the attention to detail and everything. Is I'm sure there's probably far bigger ones and ones that go even more all out. But um, I know a few friends and people that have gone all out and went to Ren festivals and everything, but never just had a chance to. But it's one of the things I definitely want to try again sometime now that I'm an adult and everything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. I'm hoping soon that to plan it. So my kids and stuff are grown and stuff like that, and us to do like a Dragon Con or Comic Con or something like
Oh
that, or
yeah,
even one of the horror cons and stuff like
yeah,
that, because
that'd be cool.
they've kind of got my warped sense of humor too. So
Yeah, it definitely be cool to go one of those cons, especially like the gaming conventions and everything. It'd be cool to try go to with all the different. I mean, even the Comic Cons, you sometimes have some cool like people that you might recognize from a game you play or something like that go to those. And I know what's it called? What's I gonna say? I done lost my train of thought. But yeah, Renaissance Festival definitely one of those things. And crap, I don't know what the other thing I was gonna say that's kind of like the same category and topic and everything, but I lost my train of thought. I'm so good at these. It's only my second time doing this, to be fair. I don't have a
you're
whole
doing
set of
fine, man.
notes. Yeah. Um it'd be cool to try to go to more of those things though. So
Yeah, just kind of one thing I know that my kids are into is steampunk and stuff like that, and
yeah.
that's they want to. If there was something more like that around here and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
they'd probably do it and things. And I think it's neat because the whole you know science industrial revolution type
Yeah.
things, setting the
Oh, that's
steam,
definitely
steam
cool.
era and all
Yeah.
that.
There's a restaurant near me that's a very steampunk themed restaurant inside and has that kind of, even the menu looks pretty cool. It's like a from that era called Jekyll and Hyde. And
Oh, now that sounds so neat.
yeah, it even had some kind of like has some kind of English and Irish British foods as well. And yeah, I need to go back there again one time. Oh, I know what I was thinking of in this state fairs or fairs and stuff like that. I've never actually been to a state fair. I went to a county fair nearby like years ago when I was a little kid, but that was another one that was like something I want to try to do again now that I'm older and get a chance if I get a chance to. There's
Oh yeah, there's three that happens around us on the. I think there's one in Gray, there's one in Greenville, and then there's one in Knoxville. I'm not
yeah.
sure if they're state fairs, but I know it's most. I think Knoxville's the state, maybe like a eastern part of the state fair or something like that. I don't know if it's the actual state fair, but I think the other one's just like county fairs and stuff like that. But they're pretty big.
Tennessee. I think the Knoxville one is called the Tennessee Valley Fair, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can remember in high school and stuff being part of the FFA and stuff like that. We would take things
Okay.
down there and show them and things like that, and it's
Yeah,
definitely pretty neat.
it was definitely cool, and all the. I know it'd be cool to try some of the. It's weird 'cause I don't remember a whole lot from those. I mean, I remember like some of the different games and rides and everything, but I don't know if I actually did like much of the fair stuff. I remember like doing bumper cars and stuff like that, but it was kind of a blur because it's been so long ago. For some reason I remember more of leaving the fair than actually be like what was going on during the fair. It's weird how memory works sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of like I survived this,
Yeah. Um and so yeah, fairs. I don't. I think different like festivals, even like cool to go like reenactments and stuff like that. Different things like that would be neat one day to.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And it's, around this time, fall and stuff like that, all the different towns and stuff having their fall festivals and stuff and things like that. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the. I'm actually curious. I don't know. Is it the fairs normally go through November? I don't remember.
I think mid November and stuff, and then it kind of starts getting a little too cold. Of course, normally they've not got to do it here the last year or two, but they would have ghost walk tours of the town and stuff
Okay.
like that. And two friends that I know have wrote a book on all the different so-called hauntings in the county here and stuff.
Yeah. Oh dang, the one I went to, they only do it October 1st through 11th, huh? I mean, yes, that makes sense. You don't want to do it once it's getting too cold and everything, I guess. Uh, it definitely does around here, that's for sure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's really gotten down lately, and said it might warm up a little bit next week, but it's fall's here. Uh, but let's see. I guess we'll start wrapping up. We had a nice. It was a nice time, nice chat. We've gone for just a little over an hour now, so we.
Oh, it don't seem like it.
It don't one bit. It goes by
I can
quick.
ramble with the best of them.
But we got a good portion. I don't want to bore people too much by taking too long. But I know there's some good people that have given me some good feedback after the first episode that have enjoyed it and everything, and I'm appreciative of that. And if any of you guys who are listening to the first episode or listening again, I'm glad to welcome you back, and I definitely will try to do more of these, and definitely will try to have you back for sure. Maybe we'll bring you back around, at the very least, depending on how many of these I do. Definitely will try to do some around Christmas time, so we'll try to have you back by then and get Christmas edition going. But it was a pleasure, and glad to have you here. And obviously, we'll talk more after I
Oh,
wrap up here. But
yeah. Yeah, always a pleasure to get to hang out and
yeah,
talk and stuff. And
I'm glad other people could get to hear us talk and hear you talk and your lovely stories. It's always great to hear them. So I'm glad other people got to hear them
oh,
too this time.
yeah. Like I said, I should write a book on some of them and stuff. And
Hey,
some of them what people just wouldn't believe, and I'm like, well, yeah, it happened. I'm not making it up, but
people people can be like, "Is this a what kind of fiction book is this?" And you're like, "It's not fiction."
oh yeah, there was one person who was wanting to have me on, but tell him about the Hearst story and stuff like that. It's never had an encounter with a ghost or anything like that. But if you want me to tell it real quick, I'll tell it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, I was going to be a mortician and and things like that, and um, always love antiques and stuff. So I was going to look and restore a hearse. I got the chance to buy one. It was a 1964 Cadillac. It was a Superior coach, and I think that year they made 1,000 or 12,000, and the body number on this was in the 300s. Um, Bought it for $200. They was just gonna scrap it and crush it. So the second night I had it, I drove it to work and ended up having to work a double shift and things. So as I was driving back home, um, it's kind of one of those. I was just so afraid I was going to wreck the car that I felt my head just nodding forward, and turned on the heaters and stuff like that. Blasting it, just trying to stay awake. Had about a 15-20 minute drive home, but it just seemed like this night was just taking forever. And was remember going along a straightaway and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like my head just felt like it bobbed down, and it was probably only a micro nap, but it seemed like it went on forever, and I was just fighting. I was like, I gotta wake up, I'm gonna cross the center line, hit somebody head on, kill them or kill me, wreck or total the car, and I'm trying to restore it and all this stuff. And it was just like this huge internal struggle for me, just trying to wake myself up. And just kind of like, all this was going on. And then I heard, "Go ahead and sleep. I'll drive." I come out of it. The car was going around a curve.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
whether this was a micro nap or what, it was ice cold. I mean, imagine seeing that little kid. "I see dead people,"
Oh
and the
my
frost coming
gosh.
out.
Yeah.
I was so cold, and I drove home, and I was probably, just scared out of my gourd. I
Yeah.
thought I had done lost it. I was like, "You've done went too far. You've lost it. They're gonna lock you away." And I get home and I'm going inside and I'm trying to forget about it and stuff like that. And at the time, it's live with my mom and dad because my dad had strokes and stuff, and I was trying to help them out. And she goes, "Your lights on is out in hers." Every light inside was on, bright lights and everything was on. I was like, "I know I cut them off." And I was like, "Well, I don't want a dead battery." And went out there and was trying to wrestle with going out and stuff like that because I was just, trying to give myself a reality check. Am I having a full blown mental break or what? And my mom looked at me and she goes, "You're white as a ghost. Are you okay?" And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Type thing. So I managed to get my courage about me and walked out to the car and cut the lights off and stuff and was just sitting in there. And it was just this unimaginable peace and stuff like that. And I just rubbed the dash and I said, "Well, old friend," I said, "you got me home." And that
Yeah.
car never let me down
Oh yeah.
whatsoever. So I don't know if that's a ghost encounter or what. Like I said, but it was definitely interesting. And
Yeah.
like I said, it freaked me out, and it takes a lot to freak me
Oh
out.
yeah. Wow. Hey, it's still a really cool story regardless. Thought she gave you some good years.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, even took my cousins and stuff trick or treating in it and stuff like that, and took it camping. And it just, oh man, I could write a whole book just on stories from owning that car.
Oh yeah. That is definitely a unique card. I imagine you have a bunch of them. I don't doubt it. We'll have to try
Yeah,
hear some
it's
more of them.
22 and a half feet long and weighed 6,500 pounds.
Oof, man, that thing could. I bet you cars like that when they were made back then, they keep you safe for sure too. If you got into an accident, made of like a pure machine right there.
Yeah, it's once you got it going and stuff, it's the weight of the thing just kept it going. I
Yeah.
was getting between 17 to 20 miles to a gallon out of
Oh
it, and in a
wow.
V8.
Oh
And I
wow.
was kind of like, man.
That is gold right there. That's awesome. Well, I am glad you shared that before we wrap up. I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
give
have to,
some people some Halloween vibes and stuff.
yeah, something to think about as you're enjoying this, because this will be out tomorrow. So it's something for you to think about as you enjoy your Halloween day. And yeah,
Yeah, they'll be like, "Stay away from that weirdo now."
yeah. Well, we'll definitely have you back to hear some more stories and everything. It's been great talking to you and great to have you on here. It'll make for a great episode, I'm sure. But
Oh, I appreciate it, bud. The
yeah,
pleasure's all mine.
yeah. Well, to everyone, say goodbye to Toby. Thank you for coming, and we hope everyone listening or watching or whatever enjoyed and has a great rest of their day or night or whenever they're watching this. Some of you probably end up watching after Halloween, but I hope you had a good Halloween. You celebrated. If not, I hope you had a good Friday. And shall catch you on the flip side and whenever I try to do another one of these. But until then, I'm going to get the outro song going. I'll be right back with you.
Oh, okay, everybody take care and have a blessed one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye now.